Greetings, folks, and now it's Thursday, the 22nd of October. Just want to say hello, chat for a couple minutes, and then get out of your hair. So, another project that I was involved in, an art project I told you about, has partly come together. I'm an alumnus of the Bemis Center for Contemporary Art. And they put out a quarterly magazine called Time and Space. And the latest quarterly just came out. It features art by 10 artists, local artists. And this one, I happen to be one of them, as you can see there. And these other folks, great local artists, Shaniqua Linder, that's hers on the cover. And we opened it up, and the very first piece you see is mine. One of my test pressing collages. Here is quilt work by my friend Celeste Butler. She is an amazing artist, and I don't mind sharing that. I had to go to bat for her several years ago. She was getting that second. She was not being regarded fairly as a black woman artist in Omaha, and I advocated for her. I had to, because it was blatant what I was seeing, and she spoke about it, and we confronted it, and we opened some doors. Her work is really beautiful. Sarah Rowe is another artist that I know local. Well, several of these artists I'm familiar with, but it's a real honor to be included in this. And we all were paid honorariums to be a part of this, which I don't have to explain, but I do, because it's my way. That's some of the money I used to buy some of these records you've been seeing me show. It's been another source of income. So, that's what's going on with me. Folks that have been with me for a while, you understand that I'm human. I've explained that I have depression, and it's somewhat seasonal. And that if you have been with me, you'll notice that I go through mood swings and cycles at times. And sometimes I can be kind of short, a little bit prickly. I'm not excusing it, but I'm not apologizing for it, because I'm just being me. I can tell you folks who are with it understand. But I always am dealing with knuckleheads and knotheads, always dealing with them. Some records sitting out, just to show you. Gary Lewis from Gary Lewis and the Playboys, Jerry Lewis's son. I really like this album, Listen. It was arranged by Jack Nietzsche, who's done some great work with everyone, but notably with Neil Young. And so there's some cool tracks on here. Bring the Whole Family is my favorite. There's some psychedelic sound effects going on the record. When I first caught them, I thought something was wrong with the pressing. It was done on purpose. Automatic Fine Tuning. Cat damage on the cover there, unfortunately. A one-off English guitar band, mostly instrumental. This was seemingly ahead of the time. Very ambitious, long compositions that went through a lot of changes. Really not so much like Opeth, but in a way like that, but not sounding like that, but just a lot of changes. It's pretty good. There's only one vocal on here that I remember. Guy, if you happen to be watching, hello. Guy over in Belgium. Played this last night, getting in kind of a dark mood. Heresie by Univers Zero. Truly an amazing band. This is a reissue. I've always wanted an original, but they're hard to come by. So when this remaster came out And it's a cool looking vinyl. I was happy to get it. Now Guy told me that he wasn't particularly impressed with this remix. I think it's been remixed as well as remastered. I'm in no position to say, you know, I just like the music. I do hear where the drums are brighter on this. Some French jazz, Jean-Luc Chevalier, Zantic le Jazzman. This has a soft type of approach, not easy listening, soft, beautiful, like frost on the window, not frost, like condensation on a window on a warm day. Beautiful album. More jazz I listened to, Red Lanta by Art Lande and Jan Garbarek. Yesterday was just a perfect day for it, which reminds me, I hadn't mentioned, yes, Toshinoro Kondo, the jazz trumpeter, who I have very few records of him with him on, and I have none of his, actually I do on CD, passed recently. I kept forgetting to mention Toshinoro Kondo, but yes, know his work, and he's on Sakamoto's Illustrated Musical Encyclopedia album, so I played that recently, but he passed. But been playing some jazz. This was really beautiful. Another wonderful, two more beautiful albums. Early Ambient, this was made in 1980. K. Leimer, Closed System Potentials. Electronic, unique, really good. Ambient, really good. And another one, modern contemporary classical music, Daniel Lentz. He's in the same field as Philip Glass and Steve Reich and David Borden. The Crack in the Bell. Working with layers of repetition and voice, and almost like feathering, the way that you can do with the hair. Feathering voices. Okay, I got to show this because this is a record that is still a survivor from my childhood. Andrew Leigh, Magician. Really cool album. Andrew Leigh was a member of Matthew Southern Comfort. See, this is one of my childhood records. See, my name's all over it. I got this free from the black, at the time, it was a black run radio station trying to bring soul to Omaha, KOWH. And me and my buddies one day arranged to get a tour there so we could get some free records. And they gave us a bunch of prog. That's where I got my Egg album. And my friend got Sam Apple Pie and some other really cool records. But this was one. And I'm glad I managed to keep this, because there's so many records I don't have. But this is nothing amazing. It's just, it has a lot of nostalgic value for me, but it's a good album. Okay, folks. I hope you're all doing okay. These are just really, I just keep saying it because it's true. These are very weird times. Really strange to be living in a time similar to the time of Hitler, where we're dealing with a leader who is wholly unqualified and really quite obviously mentally unstable and nihilistic, and yet there's some sort of strange sickness or spell that's been cast on his following, and we're dealing with this ongoing madness. It isn't good, and he really needs to be thrown out of office. And even though the Democrats are really not any better, it can only get worse the way it is now. I have to speak on it.